everybody, this is Sunbeams 3 lesson number 30, and here we are doing a recording again. So get ready with your mom as your partner, and we're going to sing the welcome song. And when we do the welcome song today, we're going to do it the way we did a couple weeks ago with the lap, clap together, clap, facing your mom as your partner. 2 weeks ago, we did it as an accelerando, which meant that we gradually got faster. So we started slow and we kept increasing the tempo as we kept going through the song. Today, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to start fast and we're going to gradually get slower as we go through the song, which is called a retardando. So face your mom as your partner. And get ready to sing the welcome song. So we're going to start fast. Lap, clap, together, clap when the sun peeks from behind. Clouds, the sunbeams sing and play. We will be together in the sun. It is our music day. Then we'll see who'll join us in the fun. Clap your hands and tap your toes. Keep time with everyone. And that was retardando. So what I'd like you to do is take a minute now and get your tin sheet out. We're going to be on the keyboard side and you need one magnet. We're going to review our sharps and flats today. So with your magnet, I'll call out a sharp or I'll call out a flat and you just put the magnet on. So remember that the rule for sharps is always up and never down, and the rule for flats is always down and never up. So when we find a sharp, we go to the next note to the right, and when we find a flat, we go to the next note to the left. So the first note is F sharp. And B flat, C sharp, and E flat, G sharp, go up here to this one, and then to A flat. Oh, look, it's the same note. G sharp and A flat are the same black key. And then to D sharp and G flat and D flat and what about D sharp? And then A sharp. And then we have those white key sharps and flats. So don't be confused, just go, if there is no black key to go to, if you're going to the sharp, you go to the next white key up. If you're going to a flat, you go to the next white key down. So E sharp. And F flat. And B sharp. And C flat. And there we have all the sharps and the flats that are on the keyboard. So today what we're going to learn in our Bright Ideas pages is called enharmonic twins. And when we talk about twins, often twins look a lot alike. They have different names, but they look very similar. And so that is what an enharmonic twin is. An enharmonic twin is a black key, looks the same, but it has two names. So if we go to F sharp, whoops, F sharp is over here. If we go to F sharp, we know that's F sharp, but it also has a flat name. We know it's G flat. So F sharp and G flat are enharmonic twins. Then if we go to C sharp, and D flat are enharmonic twins. And then we go to G sharp and A flat. We found out when we did our note naming of sharps and flats that G flat or G sharp and A flat are the same note as well, the enharmonic twins. And then we have B flat and A sharp. And we have E flat and D sharp. Then we talk about those white keys. And so we know that that is an E, but it also is an F flat. So E and F flat are enharmonic twins. They look the same, but have two different names. And then F is here, but it's also E sharp. So F and E sharp are enharmonic twins, and then B and C flat are enharmonic twins, and C and B sharp are enharmonic twins. So those are all of the sets of sharps and flats that match together on the keyboard, and we call those enharmonic twins. And you'll find those exercises on page 23 and page 24 of your Bright Ideas pages. So have a look at those, and you will want to find the two notes that match. So you'll want to use your tin sheet to do this exercise. On one of the pages, they have it right on the keyboard, so you just have to name the two names for the one note. And if you have any problems with that, be sure to text me or email me, and I'll be happy to walk you through that at a solo time or even another time if you need help with that. So, enharmonic twins, Bright Ideas, page 23 and 24. Okay, I'd like you to go into your book now, and I'd like you to go to page L16. On L16, we have rhythms, and all the rhythms are in, and I'm just going to grab my board so you can see it here. So hopefully you can see that. All of my rhythms are in 9/8 time, 6/8 time, or 3/8 time. And all of the rhythms on L16 are also in 9/8, 6/8, or 3/8. So I have 3 rhythms here, and I want to go through them, and I want to put a time signature at the beginning of them. So what you have to decide, and I'm just going to step away and grab a pen. Just give me a minute. Okay, so when we decide whether they're going to be in 9/8, 6/8, or 3/8, most of the rhythms could be in either one of these. The only one that couldn't be in any, all 3 of these time signatures is the second one, because it has a dotted half note, which in 6/8 time we know gets 6 beats. So this rhythm could only be in 6/8 or 9/8, but the other 2 rhythms could be in 3/8, 6/8, or 9/8. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to decide the time signature on these, and you can watch and make sure that I'm doing it correctly. So if I decide that I want this one to be in 3/8 time, so I'm going to step to the other side here, and then I'm going to put the time signature 3/8 at the top or at the front of this rhythm. So that means I have 3/8 notes in my measure. So we know that a ta in 6/8 time gets 2 beats. So this would be 1, 2, 3. So here's my first bar line. And then I have a dotted ta there, and that would get 3 beats because there's 3 T's in that, 2 T's here and 1 in the dot. So there would be another bar line there, and then another bar line there, because that's the same. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I have 1, 2, 3 T's there. So there's another bar line, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's where my stop sign would go right there. So this is in 3/8 time. The second one, again, just a reminder, when we have a half note dot, we know it can only be in 6/8 or 9/8 because this gets 6 beats. So it wouldn't fit into a 3/8 time signature. So I'm going to do a 6/8 rhythm here. And so then I know that this gets 6 beats, so that's where my bar line is going to go. And then here, this gets 3 beats, a ta dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have my stop sign. So that's in 6/8 time. And then the last one, I haven't used 9/8 time signature yet, so I'm going to use 9/8. And so I'm going to count 9 beats. So we know this gets 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then my bar line would go there, and there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then there's my stop sign at the end. So you don't need nearly as many bar lines when you're in 9/8 time as you do when you're in 3/8 time. So on 6/8 time, or on L16, I want you to do what we've done right here. So I'd like you to take the book and go to L16, and I'd like you to press pause now, and then I'd like you to draw the bar lines in using those 3 time signatures. So you should be able to do 2 in 3/8 time, 2 in 6/8 time, and 2 in 9/8 time, and then come back on for the rest of the lesson once you're finished drawing the bar lines in. All right, so now you're back and you've done the bar lines on these rhythms. This is your rhythm page for today. So I've been sending a rhythm page for the past couple weeks for you to clap and do so that you didn't have to make rhythms on your own. Today, this is what this week, this is what you're going to use. You're going to use this as your rhythm and clapping page. So depending on what time signature you used is how many counts you're going to count on each line. So if you did 6/8 time here, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each day you're going to use one rhythm from this page to clap and to count. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a melody using that rhythm. So on day 1, you're going to make a rhythm in C major. On day 2, you're going to make a rhythm in A minor. On day 3, you're going to make a melody in G major. On day 4, you're going to make a melody in E minor. And on day 5, you're going to make a melody in D major. So C major, A minor, G major, E minor, D major, and then the bottom one is day 6. So if you do happen to do 6 practices, you can make a rhythm in one of those keys again, but you only have to get to line number 5 because I'm hoping for 5 practices. So number 1, C major, number 2, A minor, number 3, G major, number 4, E minor, and number 5 is D major. So I'm going to give you an example on line number 1 in C major. So because it's in C major, then it's going to start and end on C. And I'm going to use rhythm number 1. On day 2, when you make your rhythm in A minor, then you know that your melody has to start and end on A. And on day 3, you know that it has to start on G and end on G. Day 4, it starts on E and ends on E. And on day 5, it starts on D and ends on D. What you don't want to forget is the different time signatures, because remember in C major there's no sharps and no flats, and in A minor. But in G major and E minor there's F sharp, and in D major there's 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. So here's a melody that I made on line number 1 in the key of C major. Sorry, I'm going to start that again one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's as easy as that. I used the first 5 notes of C major and I made a melody using that rhythm. See what you can do, and next week at solo time, I'd like to hear one of those rhythms. All right, we have one more thing to go over before I'm going to leave you for today. And so we've been practicing the F major scale for the past couple weeks, and last week we added the chords. We added the 1 chord, the 5/7 chord, and the 4 chord to the scale, which I will be listening to at solo time. And so today what we need to add is we need to add the F major triad. And so triads, all the other scales that we've done this year, you've received a triad card to put onto your ring with your triad on it so that you have the notes of each triad. If you have a card at home that you could do that with and then add it to your triad cards, that would be awesome. and then you always have the reference back to the notes that you need for every key. So F major triads, and I wrote it out on this card here. So I have the F major triads, so I think you can see that without too much reflection. So it looks like this on your card, and so at the top it says F major triad, and then in the middle we have the notes. So FAC is F major triad in root position. Then you take the F off the bottom and you put it on the top, and now you have ACF and you're in first inversion. And then you take the A off the bottom and you put it on the top, and now you're in second inversion, CFA. And then you take the C off the bottom and you put it on the top, and now you're back to FAC, which is root position. So on top and on the bottom, I have the finger numbers, right hand and left hand. But if you go back to one of your other triad cards, the fingering is always the same. So if your mom needs to remember or you need to remember, just go look at one of those other cards. But so you know that the triad in root position is FAC. So take your tin sheet right now and make those triads so that you know how to make that card when you're ready to do that. If you have one of those cards, or even just a piece of cardstock or something, you could do it and then just add it to that ring of cards. So FAC, you take the F off the bottom and you put it on the top. First inversion. You take the A off the bottom and you put it on the top. Second inversion. You take the C off the bottom and you put it on the top, and you're back to root position. All right, hopefully you had a chance to make those and then to make a card to add to your triads, because you want to start practicing the triads for F major this week, as well as playing the F major scale in the right hand and the left hand, and the chords too, just like you've been practicing previously. At solo time today, I'm going to be listening to the F major scale, and I'm going to be listening to your W and your K pages, and so I'm looking forward to hearing those later on.